everyone. It's really nice to see. It's really nice to meet so many old friends, make new friends here, and have so many vivid discussions about various topics. So what I wanted to talk about with you, what kind of stories I wanted to tell you today, it's all related with motivation. So usually the first thing, if you think about motivation, it's this. It's the carrot and the stick, right? So we usually think about the motivation in this way. And as much as I like carrots, I'm not kind of sure if I like the sticks. Well, we can go into more deeper discussion on that probably. But this is the first, in many cases, well, at least in my case, that's the first connotation. Then we think if it works or not. Yes, so this is the combined version, right? So you have a stick, which is created from the carrot, so that's the most efficient way of having the motivation part. If any of you knows where to find this kind of guy, I would be more than happy to have one. What kind of other connotations we have when we think about motivation? To be honest with you, this time when I was thinking about this presentation, when I was thinking about this talk, I started thinking about only me, about my perspective and about my connotation. So this is one of them. So when I think about motivation, it's of course Mr. Maslow is coming to my mind and his beloved pyramid. Well, of course, a bit updated to the current state of my mind, and probably there might be also other people sharing my view here in this place. When I started having problems with motivation, I thought, oh, maybe there were some research, maybe there are some brilliant scientists who did some research who were trying to discover what is it all about, how can I change it, how can I make it empower my motivation, how can I motivate myself, and what is probably more important, how can I motivate other people? So I looked into the books. And I started screaming, very, very scared, because it was, oh my God, there are so many people, so many bright people, doing so many research, doing so many experiments, having so many ideas how the motivation mechanisms works, how they can be applied to the daily life. So probably you know most of the names which are on the slide, like Herzberg theory about the hygienic parts of the motivation and internal parts, so that the hygienic would be what the salary, the office, how is it organized and everything over there. And then when everything is okay with the hygienic parts of the motivation, then the internal motivation can grow. Then there was, of course, there's the theory X and theory Y related to motivation. Theory X, that people are just bad. They don't like working, they prefer to be lazy, and they prefer to do just nothing. Whereas also the theory Y, that people are great. They love working, they are self-motivated, they like to participate in the management process, they like to be creative. So a lot of contrary ideas, right? There is Dan Pink with his drive theory. There is Adams about the balance theory, that we as people, we compare us to each other. If the amount of effort we put, do we get as much as other people? Do we get enough for ourselves? So we are doing constant ROI a verification of what we do. Maya with his experiment when he was trying to distinguish if the light and external things are how they are applying to the work. And of course Taylor, right, who was looking at the workers, and he was thinking how he can motivate the workers to work harder, to work better, to be more efficient. So when I started looking at all those research, the results, great papers, great books, I was like, oh my God, how can I apply it to myself? How can I do it? It's all contrary, and I'm not sure if it will work. So I thought that, oh, maybe I'll try to experiment on myself. It's going to be interesting. So I did. When I started the experiment, at some point I thought that I'm trying to self-manipulate. Pretty bad feeling. So because in many cases also motivation is somehow connected in our minds when we think about, at least in my mind, when I think about motivation and motivating other people, there is this grain of manipulation. I'm not always sure what is the correlation between motivation and manipulation, where is the barrier, and how not to cross it. So After reading all those books, I almost felt like reading this. So 7 Easy Steps to Live Your Life the Right Way. And of course, we all love those kind of guides. Probably most of us read a lot of them, and they helped us a lot. And our life is so much better after reading and applying all the magic rules. No. At least it didn't happen in my life. So after reading the research, the books and everything, it was, well, great. Now I have much more knowledge. Now I understand some mechanisms better. And in most cases, when I was reading each and every theory, I was like, oh yes, that will apply to me. That's how I work. That's the way how my internal mechanisms work. So I was almost like one of those medicine students who are reading about well, bad things that may happen to human beings, and then they discover they are so much sick, whereas they